Bloody hell. Jesus Christ. Holly molly. At the East versus West number 7, Team West got absolutely smashed. They didn't even snag a single victory. Cricky, it was like watching a bunch of wallabies trying to take on a croc in a game of tug of war. We all know that Levon's ranked number 1, and it's safe to say that Hermes Gasparini has secured the number 2 spot. But what about Devon, you ask? Well, he might have to go back to the bloody drawing board and come up with a new strategy, because right now he's looking about as useful as a drop bear in a koala sanctuary. The performance of Rivas Latuzzi was out of this world, and he's definitely earned a spot in the top 5. So if I had to rank them, I'd say Levon's number 1, Hermes is number 2, Jerry's number 3, Rivas is number 4, and Genadi is number 5. That leaves Devon Larrat coming in at number 6. But hey, at least he's still ahead of the bloody ref. Now, after the loss to Genadi, what's next for Devon Larrat? Maybe he needs to start drinking some Fosters and eating some Vegemite to build up his strength. Or maybe he just needs to channel his inner crocodile hunter and start wrestling some crocs to toughen up. Creaky, he's gonna need to do something to catch up to the rest of the pack. In a post-match interview, Devon was as chill as a bloody cucumber despite the loss. Maybe he's been hitting the tinnies a bit too hard and doesn't know what's going on. Or maybe he's just got nerves of steel and doesn't let a little loss get him down.
Yeah, good match. I'm happy with the result. I'm not happy with the result, but we both were fighting, and in the end, he beat me. So.
What do you think he changed? Because in some rounds you were looking extremely dominant, extremely comfortable.
That match was the flop wrist press is a powerful move. That shoulder commitment is a powerful part of the game, and when someone has a flop, it kind of negates a lot of the outside options. So you have to go in and match with the shoulder. And even if you have any kind of hand control, so much of it is about who can get that shoulder in first. And I think we both kind of realized somewhat early on that I was going to control the hand, and then it just very quickly became about who could get that shoulder in. And he's a very strong man.
Just go home, rest, train. What's next for Devon?
It's a busy period. I got a lot of competitions. I've got a show in Toronto. I got Dave Chafee for I'll tell you, the East kicked our ass today. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. The East murdered us. We didn't get a win. So Dave Chafee and I are going to figure out who is the North American representative. So there's that, and that's in 6 weeks, so it's close. Yeah, so lots of stuff coming up. I'll do my best to get ready for that. And yeah, we'll see what it holds. I'll tell you, the super heavyweight division is tough, man. I want to keep pulling here when I can. We'll see where I land.
What surprised you most about the match with Genadi versus what you were expecting?
To tell you the truth, I wasn't really super surprised. I knew that he had that option. I was hopeful going into it that I would have hand control, which I got. I wasn't sure whether he was going to flop me with a top roll or flop me coming forward. And it kind of settled that he was flopping coming forward. So that was our matchup where we kind of settled his flop coming forward and my kind of exploding hand or shoulder press conventional. And so much of it is about who can get it in first, and that's why there was so much trouble, with the shoulders, because I'm trying to edge mine in. I knew that as soon as he started arm wrestling without his hand, that was going to force me to bring my shoulder forward. I knew that was going to be a major option. So much of that shoulder game is who can get it in first. It's a big part of the game.
Yeah.
Setting up with a guy who's got a flopped shoulder is very difficult. Hey, listen, I'm really happy for Genadi. I consider him, out of all the competitors, he's a guy that, I really kind of look at him as he does some things that I wish that I could do. When I see him, I see things that I really admire. Always admired his heart, always admired his spirit. He's a guy my entire career I've liked to watch, getting to face him today and going to the wall with them. It's even though I lost, I like that I got to go to war with them. So I'm sure from now on, I'm looking forward to hopefully going over there and training with the Georgian team at some point. Hopefully I get to bring my son with me and, just spend some time being on the same side of the training table with them and just get them stronger.
Either way, he's definitely not going to be crying into his beer tonight. As a bloody sports psychologist, it's important to recognize that the mental game is just as important as the physical one. Maybe Devon needs to start listening to some AC/DC and singing Thunderstruck before his matches to get himself psyched up. Or maybe he needs to start picturing his opponents as giant kangaroos that he needs to wrestle to the ground. Bloody hell, that might just do the trick. All jokes aside, Devon's still got a lot of potential and talent. With some targeted training and a bit of Aussie spirit, he could definitely climb his way back up the rankings. In the meantime, we'll just have to wait and see what the bloody future holds for him.